Hello YouTube. I was just watching this YouTube video and I got inspired to make a video, so now I'm making a video. The video I was watching was from Disruptive Builds, and I just got inspired to do something similar. It's a video where he makes 100 houses to see if he gets better, I think. And that's a pretty cool idea, and I wanted to do that. And I just want to show you guys that I've already made. This was a little back. Uh, I've made this kind of small town thing. I was planning on making it the entire island, but yeah, where I've used some of the newer blocks, and this is one of my better builds, in my opinion. Very nice, but I'm gonna start the challenge. I'm gonna make a flat world, and then I'm gonna start building. All right, I have now made a flat world, and we're gonna start building. I think I'm gonna start with some pretty default normally used textures. Alright, so I'm gonna start building here. My builds are pretty flat normally, which I would like to improve, which is why I'm trying to do this. I'm not gonna make 100 as he is, but I'm gonna make real quick a default house here. Yep. This is not gonna take very long probably. I just want to try the idea out. What farm will do? This design is something I've made before, or something very similar I've made before. Where is it? Here we go. I've made something very similar before with almost these colors, and I like to work in orders of 3, but I will also like to get better at not doing that. The build I showed you first in the video actually doesn't have a lot of those. Have some, of course. That town like buildings that was also inspired by someone. I don't remember who it was though. But it was very much my own. I gave a lot of my own touch and such. So yeah. While I'm building here, you guys can tell me how good you think yourself are at building if you want to down in the comments. I'm building for some roofing. I'm gonna do something like this. Where is it there? Something I do like to do with most of my builds. There we go. Something I do like to do is this kind of ends of the things there. So I will be doing that for at least this house, and we'll try some different types of houses. I think I'm gonna do 10 at least this video. I might do more if you all want to see more of these kind of videos. They're very, I mean, they're cool for me to do at least. I feel like I find them interesting. And then I just do something I like to, which I do like to build. So it's a win-win. Anyway, I'm gonna cut till this video is done. I'm just gonna be filling in the roof now. So yeah, anyway, this is the house I have made real quick. It is very generic and very what I normally do. And I do like to use this as floor. I just wanted to mention that. And I do like to use white paintings. So yeah, I filled in the roof, and I did also fill in these 2 ends here. Now I think I'm gonna make a little more colorful house if I manage to. If I can, that would I think that would be pretty cool. So I'm gonna find the block palette for that and start building. I'm back with my palette here, so I'm gonna start building. I chose to go for kind of basic outline, if you could say so. I'm gonna try not to work in 3x3s. So I'm just gonna smack down some blocks here. So it's gonna be a little bit bigger. Wait. let's just do one support like that, and there. Alright, and then I actually did think of like a kind of checkered floor with just crimson logs for some color. So the walls I was thinking just prismarine, but actually it's got a good idea. I want to align it bottom first in some dark prismarine, which I think could actually look pretty nice to get a little bit of depths. And I just thought of getting some stairs too, because this can also help the build a little bit along the way. I think this is gonna be looking pretty nice. Now I'm just adding a little bit of depth with these stairs, which I do think I need to do. I think I'm gonna make a window like that, yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna fill the last two walls in here. Yeah, just make and the walls here. I think this is a very unique look. Then I have actually gone for the tough ones again, because I think it's a nice baseline. It almost looks like the acacia, and it's a nice like contrast to all the color with just some gray. Very nice to look at, almost a little cartoony. You know those like black lines around cartoon figures and such, or at least so much cartoons. I think I'm gonna try a little bit of an interesting roof here. So I'm gonna try to real quick. I'm just gonna make this part of the roof first, and I'll be back. Alright, so now I have done this roof. I chose to do some full blocks because I do actually think this looks pretty nice. I'm gonna fill this in with something. Figure out later. I do like this. I used it in a build pretty recently in a modded world. But what I'm thinking for this part of the house, I'm thinking more of like a flat one. But I'm going to try to real quick cook up a shape and explain further after that. Alright, so this is the shape I've gone with right here. And I gotta find some orange kind of slabs. I'm thinking acacia slabs. There are other slabs we could use. Oh yeah, of course there's just these slabs. We'll use those since that's kind of in the theme. Basically what I'm thinking I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a kind of like a funny design here where it kind of jumps up, even though the outer side is still just slabs. So where you would normally see these acacia logs, you won't. Yeah, and yeah, I really don't need to texture like this side because the same from. Yeah, anyway, I think this is actually a pretty cool house. I'm gonna add some lanterns. But then we gotta figure out what we should put on the ends here of this house. Oh, and in here. I think this is just gonna be something like this. What color haven't we used? So we gotta get some glass. We can do that. I was thinking purple or cyan. I think I'm gonna go with some cyan glass. That's cool. I'm gonna look in colored blocks for the ends here. I think we need some purple. Well, this. I know it's not purple. It's meant to be blue, but it looks a little purple. What else looks purple? This kind of purple. What other blocks do we have that can look like that? Ooh, nah, not really anything. Let's just stick with that. What door? Oh yeah. Basement goes in there. Hold up. Did not think about that. I did actually think they would connect because I was thinking of another block. I don't know what block that was. Maybe something modded. But I'm still gonna go with this. This could almost be like submerged in the ocean or something. Yep, and then we're gonna decide on door. I think I'm gonna use a copper door. I'm gonna use this one, which is I'm gonna use a waxed one, just so it doesn't get unwaxed. Then, yep, that is this house complete. I'm gonna find the color palette for the next one, and I'll be back. So I think I've found the starting palette for this at least. I'm gonna find a roof at some point, and this I think is gonna be the last build, else this video becomes really long. I know I said I wanted to do 10, but I've not discovered the I don't know how to do time lapse yet. Not gonna lie, but I'll learn someday. When I feel like I need it, when I've needed it enough for. Maybe I'll have it next video. Hold up. No, I was gonna go with something else. Hold up, let me just delete this real quick. Alright, so my idea was actually going more on like this is gonna be a pretty big one. Or well, bigger. Not this wide actually, I don't think. No, actually that was correct what I did before, god damn it. Almost gonna. Yeah, no, it was. God damn it. What I was thinking though was something like this. And I'll be. And then I want to use this orange acacia wood for some pop in the color. Oh, and I do not know how to do this corner. Are we? Yeah, we can just do that. Wait, it has been here then, yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Looks a little odd. Yeah, no, that looks odd. I have an idea though for how to make it not look as odd. What I'm gonna do instead is just make another section here, and then I'm gonna do something cool in this corner later. And I'm gonna be making another corner right here. Alright, so let me just finish up the walls how I want them, and then I'll show you what my next bit of the plan is. Alright, so I've just made the walls as I want them to be, and I'll also add some orange stained glass, and then I would choose to go with this kind of floor, because I think that kind of floor looks pretty cool. I'm going to all pop in this is going to be, well, acacia. What I'm going to do for these corners, I think, is something like this. Let's find a wall that kind of adds up. We're going to do this wall. It's going to be pretty cool. So just some orange to pop. With the white, I think this is actually a pretty good build, not gonna lie. And then I'm not sure what to do. I think I'm gonna make some kind of flat roof. Maybe out of acacia. But what I want to do with these corners here, or these places here, I don't know what to call them. I'm gonna do something along the lines of this, and put some trapdoors. I think down here I'm gonna add that. Some fences. I think that could be end up pretty cool. yeah, I'm gonna do that to all of the sides, and then I'll be back and reveal this one. Alright, so now I've done that, and I need to decide what to do with for the roof. So I'm back. I know I said I wanted to make a flat roof, but I chose to go with quite the opposite. I've made a kind of fantasy style, I guess you could call it, roof, and yeah, I think it looks pretty nice. It could maybe use some a little bit of texturing, but I actually really like this house. It started out as quite a pale house, but it's turned into something quite colorful. If you want to see more, you can like the video and then comment down below if you want to see more in this world or more in another world, or just comment if you want me to play another game even, if you want to see something like that. But yeah, that's all for this video. Bye bye.